is almost a given. Sorry, I glitched out there. That he's going to get linked to one club or another. Arsenal throughout the entirety of last season, then Liverpool. Didn't think too much of him being left at home for that. Then, next thing you know, more links with Liverpool. It will not go away. Next thing you know, he's at home whilst the club are preparing to go to Singapore. I think nothing of that. I remember speaking to my mate Brad, big Newcastle fan. I'm concerned. I'm like, oh, it's a worry. So even if he's injured, you know, the club are sending physios, they're sending doctors. The kit, you know, they got everyone on this tour has a role, and you've got a squad of 20 odd players there who have got everything they need with them. Coaches, physios, doctors, nutritionists, strength and conditioning coaches, everything. So I'm like, what is the sense in leaving him at home if he's got an injury? Just travel with the squad. He's one of our, you could argue, our only world-class player. I think on their day, Anthony Gordon and Bruno Guimaraes are near that, but I've always maintained that world-class means best of the world, best in the world in their position. I think Alexander Isak is the best striker in world football, therefore he is world-class. Okay, is Bruno Guimaraes one of the best three midfielders in the world? No. Is Anthony Gordon the best left winger in the world? No, so it's not world-class. Anyway, you want your big star on your tour, a tour that's more about revenue and publicity than it probably is about training. The real training will be done back at Newcastle when they get home. So Brad talked me down. He's like, oh, he's injured, mate. It doesn't make sense for him to travel. What's the point? The travel, the time difference. I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I just about got my head around that. Half hour later, boom, Isak has told Newcastle he wants to explore a move away from the club. Basically, an informal transfer request. That's the way I'm looking at this. Shit. That is a kick in the proverbials. Big time. Big time. Now, that was what, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? I want to say a week ago. Week and a bit. It's got uglier. It's got uglier. And it was ugly enough because we were in for Ugo Ekitike, right? A striker that we had approached in the January of 2022, who turned us down. Again, the deal was agreed with Rem. The money was in place, 35 million quid, I believe it was. Between 30 and 35. The deal was agreed. He said no. All right, young lad, you're not going to begrudge him that. As a French lad, PSG came knocking, he went to PSG. Get that? Excuse me. I get that totally. Said he's a French lad, the biggest club in France have approached him. We want you. He's got the opportunity to go and play with, at the time, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Neymar. You know, that front three didn't set Europe alight like they were supposed to, but as three individuals, can you think of three better players in terms of skill to learn from, particularly Leo Messi? Attitude-wise, Mbappe and Neymar, not so much, but Messi, yeah. Fair enough. So we're chasing him again. The money, apparently personal terms are agreed. The money, we're just short of what Frankfurt want for him, but we're not far away. Boom, in come Liverpool. Newcastle back off. Thinking, we wanted to sign Ekitike with best case scenario having him and Isak at the club. But Liverpool are strongly linked. This is before the I want to explore, not a move away. Liverpool have come in and Newcastle thought, okay, if they're going to spend 80 million, bearing in mind they've just spent over 100 on Verts, they're going to spend another 80 million on Ugo Ekitike. We're safe. Big Alex ain't going anywhere. Alexander the Great is staying put. No, Liverpool have played an absolute blinder here. They've taken away Newcastle's safety net, and then they come knocking on the door. I'm trying to think of a better analogy than that. From a military perspective, they've removed our navy, and then they've landed their troops on our shores. We're fucked now. If they come for Isak first, we could have got Ekitike as a makeshift replacement, because you cannot replace Alexander Isak. He is too good. He is peerless as a striker in world football. Haaland may be as good as, if not better, goal scorer, but as the all-round package, it's not even close. Alexander Isak is a far superior player. So Liverpool have taken away our plan B, then they come for our plan A. Now Alexander Isak he turned up for training, trained for 5-10 minutes, felt a thigh strain, later confirmed as not a problem by a scan. That was his reason for not going on tour. Fucked off back home, hasn't been seen since, until it's now been shown, leaked, reported on whatever, that he is in Spain training at or near the Real Sociedad training facilities. Okay, he's not trying to engineer a move to Sociedad. If he turned up training at Anfield or at Melwood, that is unforgivable. That would just top off the saga of pretty poor behaviour from Alexander Isak so far. I'm disappointed in him. I don't blame him for wanting to leave. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, Sociedad are his previous club. Also, the club, they get 10% of all fucking transfer fees above 70 million quid apparently. Yeah. Come and train at our place, Alex. Stay sharp. Keep yourself sharp. We'll leak a few pictures, you looking unbelievable. Apparently that's the home or training HQ, whatever, of his coach, his strength and conditioning coach, his fitness coach, whatever. So apparently it's not as bad as it sounds. But yeah, there we go. He has specified he only wants Liverpool. There were rumours of him being linked to Al Hilal for 700 grand a week, tax-free for the first 2 years. I can believe that. He would be stupid to take that, because he's on 150 now at Newcastle. Yes, he quadruples plus, I don't know what the word for 5 is in terms of doubles, triples, quadruples, quintuples, something like that, his current earnings. But despite what Cristiano Ronaldo would tell you, Saudi Arabia is the graveyard of top level footballers, and he is nowhere near that level yet. He's 25 years old, 26, approaching his peak. If he went to Saudi now, that would be purely only about the money. But yeah, he said it's only Liverpool he wants. He wants to go to Liverpool. He wants to join the Reds. He wants to have his name sung by the Kop, as it was by the Gallagher, the Leeses, the Milburn stand, the East stand. It's sad. It was always going to happen. It was always going to happen. If it wasn't this season, it would have been next summer. If we didn't get into Europe, he would have been gone already. If we didn't want to win a trophy, he would have been gone already. He has outgrown no player's bigger than the club, but his career and performance has surpassed and developed quicker and grown faster than that of the club. There's no doubt about that. You know, if the whole team and whole club was operating on an equivalent level to that of Alexander Isak, we would be challenging for the league and would have gone back to back seasons in the Champions League, and would have been looking like we're going to win a major trophy. I think the FA Cup's a major trophy, but in this instance, we're talking the Prem or big ears, you know. Why don't I blame him? I don't blame him for wanting to leave Newcastle. I don't think it's not a case of, I have to get out of Newcastle. It's, I want to go to Liverpool. But I don't blame him for wanting to leave Newcastle right now, because we're not kicking on in this summer transfer market. We can't, apart from Elanga and fucking Aaron Ramsdale, we cannot buy a player. No one will take our money. Every player's turning us down to go anywhere else. It's the first transfer window in years, summer transfer window, that we've had a lot of cash to spend, and we cannot fucking spend it. Say years, 2 or 3 years, but still, we cannot spend it. We are in the green for PSR, and we cannot make the most of it. João Pedro, Sesko now looking like he's going to Man United. Mbumu, Man United. Mark Gahey staying at Palace. Not surprising, they just won their first trophy. Yeah, not surprised by that one. Players left, there's more than that. Left, right and centre turning us down. Also, no CEO, no sporting director. Do the Saudis still give a shit? You know, it was all well and good when they first took over the club. They had the complete adoration of the fan base. Anyone could have bought that club and been loved. Then the Amazon documentary. Then they, you know, and then it's got this sort of, have they lost interest? Are they like, oh, I'm bored of this now? It's harder than we thought it was going to be with PSR. Bored of this now. It's not worth the time or effort. Yasser Al-Rumayyan, I have it. Some good information. Was in the country last week before, in London. Now, was he here on PIF business, or was he here on Newcastle United business? Don't know. But yeah, no CEO, no sporting director. It does look a little bit like, what the fuck is going on behind the scenes? Dan Ashworth didn't last. Paul Mitchell lasted a year. Seemed, whether it was his fault or not, but his appointment seemed to do more damage than good. Amanda and Mirdad are sorely missed, because we saw in the Amazon doc how instrumental they were in getting Anthony Gordon over the line. Absolutely pivotal. Amanda was a soundboard between the hierarchy and Eddie Howe. She was a soundboard between the club and the fans. The Saudis have never once spoken to the fans properly. They've done so much for us already. But if you don't care anymore, sell the club, make a profit, give it to someone who does. So from that perspective, Isak's probably looking around going, oh, we were promised a new stadium, promised a new training ground. I'll caveat that, those things do not happen over fucking night, yeah? The new stadium's not going to be there for 5-6 years, minimum. How long did it take for Wembley to happen? The training ground is probably going to be here before that, 2 or 3 years. It does not happen overnight like that. Whoever's told him it does needs fucking shooting, because that's unrealistic. And I refuse to believe that Alexander Isak, a guy who's fluent in fucking English, sounds like he's from London, fluent in English, speaks very good German, fluent in Spanish. That to speak 4 languages, that takes a degree of intelligence. I refuse to believe someone has gone to him, we'll have a new stadium in 6 months. And he's gone, oh fuck it, nice one. No. But the club from the outside, the optics do not look good, do they? It looks like a bit of a circus at the minute. And then you've got Liverpool Football Club, the legacy football club in the UK, in England. It's the legacy football club in the Premier League, which is in cracking nick right now. Manchester United are arguably as big as Liverpool, if not bigger. I would say Liverpool the bigger club. 6 European Cups. The same English league titles. Man United got 2 European Cups. If it weren't for a cracking Barcelona team, they'd have 4. But Liverpool have got 6. They've come knocking. They are the current English champions. In the Champions League every year, they've invested big. They've got big players. They kept hold of Salah, of Van Dijk. They let go of Trent, and they're probably going to be stronger for it. They signed Wirtz. Frimpong, fucking who else have they signed? A few others. That Kirkes. They're going to assault the Champions League next season. Newcastle are happy to be in the Champions League. Liverpool expect to be competing for the Champions League. They expect to be in that semi-final, gunning for it, and they will be aiming for it. If Alexander Isak stays at Newcastle, he will probably play in the Champions League more often than not. Hopefully. If he goes to Liverpool, he will win the Champions League before the end of his contract. If he kicks on and does what for Liverpool, what he's done for Newcastle, he will fire Liverpool to that fucking final and beyond. He will win serious trophies. He will probably win the Premier League next year. They're overwhelming favourites already. He'll win the Prem next year. May well win the European Cup. League Cups and FA Cups would be the absolute highlight of Newcastle in the next few years. And that League Cup back in February was, or March 16th, was incredible. At Liverpool, the coaches and the senior players, Van Dijk and the like, will be saying to him, that's the bare minimum here, son. That is consolidation. That ain't good enough. That's the difference. And he feels like he's in a position in his career where he has to be going for those trophies. They just love it when you go to a fuel station and there's only one pump of fuel, cheap fuel, Supreme 99 unleaded. Oh, it's gonna be dear. Anyway, thanks for watching. Glad I got that one off my chest. I don't blame Isak for going, but he's got to admit his behaviour the last couple of weeks has been disappointing. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Good night.